Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. Today I'm going to show you how to play I Hate to Kill You. It's two-player, ages 10 and up, and takes 5 to 10 minutes. Let me show you how to play. The goal of the game is to reduce your opponent's health to 0. You're going to start by each picking one of these characters to play as. They recommend that you pick characters that actually battled each other in the movie. You're allowed to pick whoever you want to battle against each other. You can have Count Rugen battle against Prince Humperdinck if you really want to, but to start out, I highly recommend starting with one that's standard duels. We have Inigo Montoya can battle Count Rugen, so we're going to start with that. And so we would put all these off to the side. And the decks matter because they have numbers between 1 to 8 that you're going to use after each dice roll. But the most important part before you start is you are going to read off a card that tells you, this puts you in the battle spirit. And so you'll read this off and Count Rugen will say, or Inigo Montoya will say, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepare to die." And you're supposed to repeat that before each dice roll. And Rugen gets to say, "You must be that little Spanish brat I taught a lesson to all those years ago." And their fight is special because Inigo Montoya keeps on getting to repeat his line. So it's very, very fun. And you just find their health cards and you set them out and you're ready to do battle. How gameplay works is I'm saying that the players are sitting like this, facing each other, so you need to have your health card oriented towards yourself, and right now it's at 5. If Inigo loses a health point, it goes down to 4. You just rotate the card, then 3 to 2, and 1 is on the other side if you get down to that. So to start, you both roll at the same time, and I'm saying this is what they ended up with after their roll. And so Inigo's ahead. He has 5. And Count Rugen only has 3. But then you get to play a card from your hand to adjust it. And I really recommend shuffling up your cards a little bit because it's easy to tell if you're picking from one side or the other. And so he might, even though he's ahead, he might choose to re-roll one die because he doesn't know what Count Rugen's going to do. So you place the card that you select face down in front of you. And Count Rugen's going to look through and he has a knife throw. You get to change 2 faces of your opponent's dice. So that's pretty good. And how it works is you reveal at the same time your cards, and the numbers on the cards matter because that's the order in which you resolve them. So his goes first. He gets to change 2 of the faces. He's going to switch these to blank faces, which means that he's winning. But now there's a chance to re-roll one of his dice, and he's going to choose to re-roll red because yellow, the yellow dice, only has 3 single swords on it. Yellow's your weakest die. Then orange has a double on one of the sides, and red has 2 doubles that you could roll. So you have better odds with the reds. That's your best die. So we'll say he re-rolls it and he just gets 1. If it was a tie, you don't do anything. If you'd managed to roll a double, they both have 3, you would discard these cards, they'd be out of the game, and that would be it for the round. Nobody loses health. However, if you lose, these cards still get discarded. They're out of the game. You don't get to use them again for the rest of this game. And now his health goes down 1 to 4, and the player that won has to discard one of their dice that is showing a sword on it. So they're going to discard one of the yellow ones because those are the least powerful die. And what's nice about that is now this player has better odds that has more dice, so it's going to be more likely that this player will get more points in the future. The other thing that can happen is if sometimes you want to go ahead and play your number 1 die, which is a bluff. Every other card has to be discarded. So if there was another round where they played a 1 versus a 4, he would get to take his action on the 4, and you don't do anything with the 1. It's a bluff, but then you get to keep the card in your hand, and then this one would be discarded. So it's really nice to be able to save some cards for towards the end if you need them. And then the only other card that does anything kind of special is the 8s are your big powerful cards that do really good things, and you use those at the end of the turn. So this, you get to swap your active dice with your discarded dice. If he's been winning a bunch and has like this many discarded, and these are his only active dice, you would wait and resolve the end of the turn. Okay, how many swords do people have? Reduce health accordingly. But then at the end, he'd get to switch this back in, which can be really helpful, especially at the end of the game. And you just keep on going, taking out, sometimes, a lot of times it gets down to very few dice at the end of the game. And once you get down a lot, usually it ends up being where people each have 1 point left. And then whoever is the victor in the final battle wins the game. So that's how to play I Hate to Kill You. The target demographic for this game is Princess Bride fans. And if you haven't watched the movie, or if you haven't watched the movie recently enough to be excited about this theme, go watch the movie. And then you will be excited, and this game will be even better for you. The rule complexity is low, but there's a little bit of stuff going on with how you play the cards out properly to adjust your rolls, or to watch out for what the other person is doing to you. So there's a little bit more there than just roll the most swords going on. But if one person knows how to play, it's really quick and easy to get it up and running, so both people are able to play against each other. How competitive is this game? It is high. You are battling to the death. However, because of the manner in which the game works, every game should be a very close game. There are some situations where I've had it where I've just tanked pretty hard and I have all these dice and I'm rolling blank faces, and my opponent has 2 dice left and is rolling double swords. So that can happen, but the cards can help you adjust. And so it just seems like the vast majority of our games get down to 1 life versus 1 life, which is just so fun. And because it's so fast, usually when we play this, we play 2 or 3 rounds. And so it makes it so it's highly competitive, but fun and happy at the same time. The replay value is medium. This isn't a every Friday night go-to game that you're going to want to play with your family or with your board game group. But if you really like The Princess Bride and are excited to play a game that allow you to kind of reenact some of the feeling of the movie upon occasion in fun board game form, then you'll get this out a fair amount. Similar games, if you like this one, the same board game company has a game called Battle of Wits, which is a card game that has a Princess Bride theme. And then there's also Good Omens, an ineffable game. It has the Good Omens TV show or book series theme, and there's dice that you roll and cards to adjust, so kind of the same feel. But we love The Princess Bride, so we were very, very excited to play this one, and we've had an absolute blast playing it. So you should check it out. Thanks, and see you next time from Game Like a Mother.